Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, and the USO. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frame. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So going back to the daily SPY, we're still inside this bar, still chopping around, slopping around, up and down, but as long as we don't confirm above this bar, we're still setting up to possibly go lower. We have a trend line. Let's throw the quick trend line in here. Let's see, right there. And we'll cut it from this low here. Let's go through these. Right about there. So that's the line in the sand on the downside. And then now on the upside, I'm going to stick one right here now. Let's see if that's going to tell us anything. We have this one here, and as well as we have the upper trend line in this high sphere. So we have that. So that's what I want to follow at this point. We had to retrace back into this area, and now we have a pullback. Now it's holding above the 20 MA, but it's below the 50 MA, so it's neutral, but it's still inside bar bearish pattern. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly, same thing, inside bar, coming up. You see as it's starting to do a pennant pattern. So which way will it go, up or down? So we'll find out, but ultimately if it does get above this high, right around the 218.96, 219, then it recaptures the all-time high, which is 219.60. Then this one could possibly move up. If this starts to go down and cracks below the 20 MA, then we're definitely going to go lower prices. 20 MA is right around 214.03. So it's holding, but it's consolidating sideways in a bearish manner inside bar. So we'll see how long this can last. Monthly chart, same thing, just a little tighter pattern. Got above, never closed above the green bar, kind of slowly going down. But you have a nice bullish pattern developing on the monthly. So let's see if this thing can go sideways or does it start going low. If you're bearish, you want to see it close below this low, right around 212.31. If you're bullish, you need to get above the all-time high. I'm just going to say 220. It needs to get above 220, then we could possibly go to 225, and then I would probably add some shorts up there. Let's go to the IWM. IWM, got a lot of stuff through here. Let's push this one up. Let's go to the daily. So the daily, we came back in, we rushed back up, got above the gap fill, above the high here, got to the 128.87 area, then pulled right back, bearish pattern, inside bar, but above the moving averages, so it's slightly bullish, but micro bearish. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days sideways. Let's see if we can get a couple more, and if the markets start to dump, this should start dumping as well. But technically, it's not bad. You know, I keep saying bearish patterns, this and that, but again, until it gets above this 125.87 area, fills the gap again, I still say these markets are going lower. Well, we'll see. We're going into earnings. It can completely change. If it goes up, then we'll reevaluate these charts and see what happens. Again, inside bar, weekly pattern, needs to get above this high, which is right around 125.45. If you go back, we've been looking at this. 123.62, we did get above there, never confirmed, come right back in. We did close a little bit above it last 123.82, so we are a little bit above it by 20 cents or so. Let's see if we can hold on and see if we can stay above that area. Every time it seems to get above, pulls right back, comes right back in. So ultimately, though, you still have a gap fill around 127.56 and the all-time high pivot around 129.14. So you still have big resistance up. You have a lot of support coming down. But now you have this trend line coming in. Not the best, not the worst. You know, I'm going to draw this one in a little bit better on the weekly. Because I got to see, for some reason, once I draw a trend line in, it shows up on all the charts, which kind of drives me nuts a little bit. There might be a way to disconnect that. But we're going to find out. But you have support down in here. You have the 20 MA down in this area. So if it does happen to fall, I'd like to see a couple more weeks sideways and then the drop, but we might not get that. So that is the weekly. The monthly, we're only a couple days into the month, so we can't really say. We get 3-4 weeks, then we'll reevaluate this one and we'll go from there. But again, lagging should be about the high and move. This should be the leader, and everything else should be following. We've been saying that every day. Qs. Qs on the daily. The monthly, again, we're above here. Let's see it close above this high. Let's go to the daily. Daily, again, we're just chopping, slopping. We came back up. They tried to break it above. Came right back in, above, below, above. I want to see confirmation, guys. If it would have closed up in here the next day, maybe more upside, but it came right back in. Now it's kind of choppy, sloppy. It's a macro bull with a micro bull starting in this pattern here, but it's just kind of chopping and slopping up and down. But again, technically, we are above the moving averages, so definitely in a stronger stance there. But again, you know, we got this pullback, came right back up, chopping around, just making a big rolling top, in my opinion. Monthly, we don't want the monthly, we don't want the weekly. Weekly chart, same thing. We have these low pivots here. It had a nice reversal engulfing candle. Had some volume on there, got above it. Still haven't confirmed above this 118.12 area. Let's see if we can get above it and close, and then we'll go from there. That's why we don't have. We had that pivot in there from that fake print to like 118.68. I don't have it in these charts. It was on my Realtic platform. I do not have it on this one. That's why I was like, where's the 118.70 area? But they took it off of Realtic, so it was just a fake print, popped it up, came right in. So what I'm looking for on this one then, I want to see a close above the 119.22 on a weekly basis. So that's the big one on the weekly. We'll find out more on Friday. Then the monthly, can't really say anything with this one. We got above this area, closed above, and actually we did get some follow through. So, but again, just the volume wasn't bad, but these volumes just really, really light. I want to see it close above this area. I want to see it close above 120 with confirmation, then maybe more upside, maybe. Let's look at the DIA. Yeah, I'm just going to go through the weekly and the daily here. Monthly will go in the next week or two just to get more information on the charts. So same thing, just like the SPYs, but this one's below the 20 MA. So this one's a little bit weaker, but chopping and slopping. Daily bearish pattern. We still are up at the top, so it's slightly bullish. But after this fall, we're back in here. Now we're below the MA, so it's in a 50-50 stance that it could go up, but a little bit more weak on the weak side because we did close below the 20. We'll know more tomorrow, and we'll redetermine which way this one can possibly go. Weekly chart. Weekly, we're above the 20 MA, but we're inside bar, going sideways. I'd like to see 2 or 3 more weeks sideways, get it right into about this area, and then I think they're going to drop it. If you're a bull, you need to get above the 52-week high, which is 186.88 with confirmation. I'd like to see this one above 190, and then maybe gets to the 200 area if earnings come in and they start rolling. It's the only way these stocks are going up at this point. And it's really, really interesting to me that the last 3 months they've just been holding it up on no volume. I mean, come on. They push it up, comes chops, 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 comes back in, holding up. Are they waiting for earnings? I think they are, in my opinion. I don't know, but it's kind of weird how they just held it for 3 months. Kind of like, oh, if we could get this thing to earnings and save it, we're going to be fine because everything's going to come in great. So the IYT of the Dow Jones transports, again, we're right to that pivotal area at 145.64. Let's see it get above that. If it does, then definitely we're going to come right into the 158 area or 151 area, not the 158. Come on now. There we go. So right into this area, this pivot high, right around 150.92 or so. If it gets up into that area, then I'm thinking you could possibly add more short to here. But this pattern's really good. But on a weekly basis, I want to see it close above this area and then close above that last candle before I think this thing's going any higher. You have the moving averages. Oops. Let's take that out. I guess it doesn't matter. Well, remove. So we have the moving averages down in here. So it is above the moving averages. So it's in a bullish stance. But again, it's got to get above this 145.64, 65 area before it starts moving up. It's right there, though, guys, right there. Then the 8,000 number on the Dow Jones transports. That's a big even number, too. Let's see if they can hold it up. Again, if the weekly pops up, I want to see it close up in here on the weekly close on Friday. If it doesn't, it could possibly reverse down. But again, it's a good bullish pattern right here. Let's see if it can continue up. That is the IYT. And again, lagging indicator. I've been talking about that as well. Lagging, not good for the markets. And then the HHUSO. That's not it. USO. So the USO did pop above this area on the daily. So technically, we are in a bullish. We could possibly move up higher. We do have this pivot right around 11.21, and then we have a gap fill right around 11.34 with a 750 retrace right at 11.34 as well. So you're going to have big resistance with the gap fill. Pivot highs a little bit higher, 11.35 or so, but nothing, well, 11.37. So no great shakes, but let's see if this can continue up. It's had a 1, 2, 3, 4-day surge into almost into this pivot and almost into this area. If you are not short here, you can start adding shorts in this area. If you are short, make sure you can add more up in this area. If it does pop, I'm thinking it might get above this 1153 area or get to the 1153 area. If it gets up in 1154 or so, that was a big breakdown bar where it fell apart, retraced back up right into that bar, sold again. So you're going to have some major resistance coming up there. But you do have a slight W pattern, which could possibly shoot this one up into the $12, maybe start filling these gaps. So we got to watch this one close to see what happens in the next week or so. Weekly, though, this is just epic manipulation, guys. You know, everyone think, how can these guys manipulate this? Again, everyone's bullish on oil. Oh my gosh, the Saudis are doing this, doing that. It's going to be all different. Oh, they're finally cooperating. No, you know what? They gap it above the 20 and the 50, and they gap it above this trend line here, and they're trying to get it to go. Next level, like I said, around 11, 34, 35, this big pivot, then ultimately around the $12 area. But they did get it above. But remember, this is a weekly close. Let's see if we can stay above it. If we do, then we need to close above whatever the high is on this candle. We need to close above that the following week to confirm to see if we're going to 12. If this thing reverses down, gets below the MAs, I think it's time to go downtown Charlie Brown. Let's do this though. And then if we do go down, this is going to be some support right here too. So I want to draw that in. That will be support down in here right around the $10 level, and then you have the 993. So let's see. This week's going to be big for these. Earnings start to come in good. We could possibly catch a bid. Higher oil price is not good for grandma. Just not good. The consumer cannot handle that. Right now we're in fantasy land, guys, and they're trying to push this up, get oil prices up, make the ExxonMobil happy and all the big oil companies. Oh, we're finally making money again. This is great. And then if we get a downturn, it's going right back to the low. So maybe they're pushing this stuff up as high as they can before the next wave of selling. Not sure, but just a thought there. All right, guys, that's it for me with the charts. This is John at StockBookie.com. Thanks for watching my videos. If you have any questions or comments, please send it to StockBookie@gmail.com. And thanks again for watching. God bless. See you on the charts.